Okay, well, here we go. Let me go ahead and change our latency, and we should be ready. So in the upper left-hand corner of the map, Caceres, this is our green, teal, or malachite player, eOnzErG.
And in the bottom portion here, as our purple Terran, we have Dandy.
Ooh, one of the most devastating forces Peru has ever seen. Cannot stress how insanely badass this guy is. It always surprises me. I say this every time I cast him or any of the other South American players that are just really, really good. Really surprising to me where games like Brood War take hold around the world. Just like these little pockets where a community starts to rise up and they just produce some of the most sickest players. Dandy's a great example of that. In South America, we've got other examples of players just from random regions everywhere, just being super good.
Did you see that thread, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, where some guy, I don't even remember what country he was from, but he posted like this whole like Brood War thing that they'd organically built up, like 30 of them, and how they like play at these like PC cafes or whatever, and it was just like, I forget, it was some relatively small country, and I was like,
I think it was Cuba,
so cool.
right?
Like that.
I remember that there was a big LAN in Cuba, which is super impressive to me. And I think there was also one other one, but I know the poster you're talking about. And I'm just like, wow, you can actually just get 30 of your friends together, all play Brood War, and have the sick tournament. Like, that's actually so fantastic. And the same situation with the 20th anniversary LAN. It's like, wait a second, randomly, people from all over the world are just like having this sick tournament. Like, I cannot wait for more of that to happen, and I certainly hope that it does. So, just to talk about the game a little bit, looks like we're going to have a 12-hatch start from eOnzErG, and then on the other side of the map, same, just one Rax opener from Dandy, and probably looking to expand Areno here momentarily. Let's see what he wants to do as he pushes this drone away.
He wants to harass that SC.
Wow. He does. So eOnzErG gets in, he's going to scout things out, and everything looks totally normal, so he knows he doesn't have anything to worry about.
No gas taken, so he knows it. Oh, he's going to lose the drone, though. A little sloppy there.
Whoa! Okay, yes, drones were not built to fight SCVs straight up. Basically, 0 units were made to fight SCVs straight up. They just kill everything.
This is an interesting one, too, because, I know there's a common stereotype to associate South American players with aggression. However, Dandy is certainly one of these South American players that bucks the trend and is definitely a player that can and does like to play macro. You can even see on his intro there, he said, do you feel you're better or prefer micro macro? And he says both. And eOnzErG, if we saw, he said two of his inspiration players were Cole and also Quanro. And if you guys know anything about Quanro, aggression. So it's almost like a flip
yes, Quadro has a
here.
Yeah, Quanro is pretty infamous for playing pretty aggressively. Rest in peace, that guy. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. But for the most part,
and then he left.
You can never.
Holy shit!
Never,
sorry, I just had like
a
giant spider just like jump onto my desk.
Are you sure it wasn't a Zergling?
I'm pretty sure it's almost big enough to be Zergling size. I wish I had my camera. I could show you what I'm dealing with right now.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, please survive. We don't want to have the first casting-related casualty.
Just die, get bit by a black widow, and just die on stream. At least my camera's off. You don't get to like watch the life go out of my eyes.
But that would be the best part. At least then we get the Twitch clip, right?
Someone just clips it. Caster
you can
dies.
Sacrifice yourself for the good of esports.
Caster literally sacrifices himself casting Brood War.
Wow. Well, this is going to be another two barracks. Obviously, this is with an expansion, so it's not like he's going to go super aggressive with this. But the Zerglings did get in and scout the progression of the natural expansion. It's up, and of course, natural is ready to go on the other side. Woo! Sick denial of the scouting SCV. So still no vision in the main until scans hit, and that means this lair is going to go unscouted for now. Did Elmaster die to the spider?
Alive. He's trying to get the spider contained so he can actually cast. But the
like
spider is very fast.
Hard contained?
Yeah, pretty soft contained.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, okay, well, good luck with that. If you have some way to grant yourself vision, like say a science vessel laying around there, then maybe just irradiate the spider right away. On second thought, probably irradiation in your own house is not a good idea.
That spider's been soft contained.
Okay, sick. We've got Elmaster, I don't know what Terran unit you are, but we've saved you from the evil Zerg.
I was just like casting, looking at the game, and all of a sudden like it just comes down from a web, and there's like a spider that's like 2 inches, just like face, and I was like, what the fuck?
Damn. Okay, well you're alive. I was actually just watching and. This is how you can tell I cast with kicks too much. I was watching an anime called Speed Grapher, and that literally happens while a guy is, well, he's not casting, but it's close enough, and the spider comes down, and he has a very similar experience. So I visualized that while I was hearing about your plight. I was almost gonna ask you to cast yourself soft containing the spider, but
I'm moving in with the bottle, trying to get the surround on the spider.
Well, luckily bottles are pretty good at getting full surrounds, so maybe they should play Warcraft 3 more. Ooh, Zergling's trying to sneak by, but there's actually a split group of bio that takes most of them out.
Yeah, I didn't expect that second group of Marines to be there.
Ooh. He does have 3 Sunkens back home with an Overlord to make clicking on them maybe a little bit more challenging. This is still pretty rough. That's 3 medics and a bunch of bios going to try to just build the Evo Chamber.
The Evo Chamber being really safe here because there are 3 meds.
Ooh, double Evo Chamber? No. Okay. This is still going to be very, very scary. He's popping a bunch of mutas as we speak. He's got a full 9. So if he can get those out, obviously it's really going to help him with the defense. But I think the time is running out for Dandy's opportunity here.
Yeah, those mutas should be popping because Eon's going to cancel that. He's like, I'm good, I'm good. Adding a 4th Sunken just in case. Or perhaps in case he wants to counter.
I mean, the mutas are out, right? So this is signal for the bio to head back home. You do not want to get picked off as you cross the map. And crucially enough, I mean, a lot of times you'll see 3-hatch from Zergs be with a macro hatch, right? But obviously when you have the setup, it's a little bit easier. I'm not used to the way... This looks like you're playing versus Protoss, right? But I guess it's a function of the map.
And if Dandy didn't know about that, he knows about it now. The bad news for Dandy is that Eon's already mining 3 gases. This is very early to be mining from 3 gases.
For sure, and especially with only 1 ball of bio, you can't expect to keep your forces alive out on the map against a full control group of mutas when you only have like 8 Marines or something like that. So here we go. We've got the first 9, or I guess the first 8. One of them.
Does he have any tech? Is he gonna play Crazy Zerg, or is he getting Hive and Lurker behind this?
He is getting Queen's Nest behind this, so he should be able to
Guardian
tech up behind this.
Could be something else.
Yeah.
Dandy. So Dandy's way behind in tech too, and he's getting massacred here, losing quite a lot of Marines. The Mutamicro from eOnzErG looking nice and crisp until he flies over too far.
Yeah, and even though he took a few muta losses, he's reinforcing with even more mutas. I really like this from Zergs. It used to be 1 group of mutas, that's it, and then you transition. But more and more you're starting to see Zergs use the mutas as an opportunity to just stay on, or keep the pressure on, and get up to that Hive tech. And it looks like that's exactly what eOnzErG is accomplishing.
Yeah, let's see, guys. So 4 racks, he's floating his factories, so we're going to see straight to starports, dual starports most likely. Not a lot of Marine and Medic out there right now for Dandy, and now Eon's going to swing to the back, but there's 3 turrets here, and I don't think he has a big enough yet. He needs maybe a couple more muta to fight those turrets efficiently. Really is the magic number for fast turret kills. Oh, there's a Hider Den. Okay, so he's going to play into like fast Hive, not like a Crazy Zerg Guardian muta kind of thing.
Yeah, and look at this. He's got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Sunkens at the front of his natural. So starting to kind of turtle up, make sure he has what it takes to be aggressive with the mutas and defensive in case anything slips by.
That's also why, despite doing a lot of damage, Eon's supply and looking like he has a good economy, that's kind of why Eon's supply is a little bit behind, because he has invested all this into tech. He's gone for the Hive pretty fast, and he's made 8 or 9 Sunkens total. So.
Let's see. I don't know if this is the right angle to break in from. I guess you can kind of punish the inability for Terrans to find good places to build turrets behind the mineral line, but
Really
it's
good
taking
turret
a
placement.
lot of muta casualties. That is harder to do than it looks to get good turret placements when you're taking that much harassment. But now the muta's kind of job becomes to stop this push from hitting across the map. There's 8
This is
Sunkens, right? But
big army.
that's a
Big
lot of
army.
bio. This is
It is
only
a
off
big
of
army.
4x too. That looks like a 5x army to me.
He has 2 or 3 lurkers with his natural. He'd be 100% fine, but I would be slightly nervous if that army was going to try to bust my natural if I had no lurker tech.
For sure. And actually, if it heads to the third base,
He's gonna have 3 lurkers though.
Yeah, there's only 3 Sunkens, but yeah, you're right. And we are starting to see Defiler tech come out as the den finishes. Greater Spire as well.
Oh, Eon's Eye there, that was really nice. Like that looked like mostly a clump ball, but he was like, oh, there's actually 2 or 3 Marines here that are kind of away from the medics, and he just sniped those off. That was kind of a cool little micro moment from Eon.
Oh, see? And I like what Dandy is doing too. He's not stimming his entire army. He's just selecting a tiny clump of Marines and stimming those, the ones that are closest to the mutas, to make sure to make the most economical use of his healing. But the mutas are still trying to get Dandy to come back home, and I don't think he's gonna fall for the bait. That's a lot of bio.
Yeah, he's got enough production. He won't feel the need to come back and defend.
Let's see, Eon.
Okay.
I mean, all it takes is Eon not microing his mutas and losing them all to flying over the bio ball. So this is going to take a lot of control, good snipes on those medics, and yeah, like you said, we're going to see vessels coming out soon, but not before a drop ship.
First. Single drop though, it looks like, unless there's already a drop ship that's done.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we got double drops. Sweet. All right, so this can be a scary moment for Zerg. We'll see if the Scourge are in the right position, but especially at that third base, there's not a whole lot of units there. So if he can get the double drops into the third base, that's going to be rough. Although the Nidus is up now.
There's 3 random mutas just chilling there. There finally go the Scourge over to the third base, so he should be ready to go for there. Coalescing the mutas and the Scourge actually pulls them back, so going to make the drops a little bit more potent. We see these Marines roll on over there, see what's up. But yeah, the pressure is at the natural. The Guardians are actually being morphed right now, so that's pretty cool to go for as a defensive option. But here comes the double drop into the third.
But he's on top of this. Is Overlord see it? That's a pretty quick reaction. There's a few lurkers here. Wow, he's actually going to pull drones, which is kind of surprising. Oh, the meter are not going to do anything, though. Maybe they're going to allow one of the dropships to get scourged.
Oh, no.
And he loses the drones.
That was terrible.
Trying to buy time for that. The lurkers are up, though, so he should defend this pretty comfortably, especially with some Guardian morphs. But he took a lot more damage than he should have.
He lost a ton of drones, all of his mutas, I believe.
Gas, though, that's unfortunate. If those Guardians don't finish really fast, the gas is what's important about this base. Actually, no, he's gonna save it. All right. Oh no. Yeah, okay, he's gonna save the gas.
Well, especially with the Guardians popping here, yeah. Unfortunately, nothing to stop these dropships. This is an anti-airless Zerg, and that means that they can pretty much operate with impunity unless there are a couple of like random mutas that didn't get morphed. But I think he lost all of his mutas. Yeah.
He doesn't know there's Guardians here, but this is gonna get shut down very easily.
Yeah, I don't think Guardians use defensively that often.
It's kind of like a situational thing. It's not super common.
Well, I mean, at least now he knows.
If you're going high, enough lurkers so you don't quite have the defiler timing and you have a lot of muta left over, that's where you see it the most often. Like, your defilers are a little too late, but you're like, oh, I still have 7 muta, and then you go like Greater Spire and use it just to hold on long enough.
Oh, he actually has a Devourer as well. Too. Wow, we're just really getting everything. So the Acid Spores are starting to stack up. And eventually that will be able to kill those 2 raids, but he has to worry about not losing it to the bio on the ground. And honestly, I guess if they're hitting the Devourer, the Zerglings could just run in and kill them.
And so denying the third base, and now this is getting rough for Dandy. I mean, he did those double drops. He didn't really get a ton out of those. So Eon's comfortably on his 3 bases. Now he's got his full hive tech. He's taking a 4th, and Dandy's having some trouble getting over here and securing a 3rd base.
Yeah, and look at these Guardians.
Like, oh no, oh, this is so bad for Dandy. Oh my god, I didn't realize I'm already down here too. Although the Fire Bats are actually going to kill that off.
I still think the Guardians are going to be really difficult to deal with. There's no raids that were killed off by the single Devourer. I'm sorry, I was just like, I don't see that unit that often.
If he can get under him and pick him off, then it's really good. But if he can't get rid of him, it then becomes very scary once, or if Eon reinforces. Okay, Defiler picking off, and now moves over, trying to get those Guardians, but they are going to retreat over the temples. Nice.
Yeah, great positional use of Guardians. They are very, very strong in this position, but the problem is that they do need support. And there are vessels coming out, or more vessels continue to be pumped out, so they will be gone to irradiate eventually. He needs to split them. That's lots of splash damage from the irradiate on these Guardians. One's going to die to irradiate, and it looks like the second one will fall as well.
Two of them are still, he can't get his units out of the way. The medics are like, they're blocking the Marines from running, so he's taking a lot of extra damage though.
Well, a bunch of forces now being rallied across the map from eOnzErG. He's got lurkers, hydras, lings, everything's coming towards his third base. The bio is out there unaccompanied or separated. They will try to run back, but not without taking a couple of casualties, and the Guardians are still here.
Eon is very focused right now on the kill of Dandy. I don't think Eon is actually aware that Dandy has a base at the bottom right. Now, this is a very scary attack, especially if Defilers get over here. But if Dandy can hold this off, can mass up, then he's going to have 3 bases that Eon is missing an opportunity to kill. And Eon running in. Okay, there's a swarm, but his lurkers actually burrow rather in front of the swarm.
Wait, what? Okay, I think one of those lurkers is underneath the swarm. More coming through. These fire bats are actually doing very, very well. Yeah, kind of weird to watch like 2 fire bats take on like 2 to 3 lurkers. That's kind of not the way you see things go all that often.
These raids are very nice, but there's Hydra here. They're not fighting the raids, they're fighting the factory instead.
Okay, well that's not what those guys are supposed to do. But there are Scourge coming through, and those technically can deal with the raids, but green raids are pretty fast and maneuverable. So we'll see how effective these can be. I'm gonna start to split things up here.
Long way to go. Okay, he's going for the vessels.
Wow, he hits one Scourge instead of killing the AFK raise. These lurkers are actually getting a ton of damage.
I don't know why Danny's running in. I don't know why Danny's attacking this. Actually, that target firing is really good, but expected. That wasn't a tight choke, and he just killed like 3 lurkers. They must have been really weakened, and Dandy saw that. That was pretty cool.
Well, you're right. This hidden base is really paying dividends, and I think that when eOnzErG attacked, he's like, all I got to do is kill the third. Like, well, you know, the third's already down here, so you know he stops what would be, I guess, the fourth. But is that enough? I mean, he does have 4 bases behind it.
And I don't know if there's units over there. If there's no units over there, though, I mean, you have to say with the map control Eon has, it's a missed opportunity to have not shut down that third, which makes me think he just doesn't know about it.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, 1 Scourge hit left on the last vessel. That's big. You pick off 2-3 vessels, really start to limit that count. It's going to keep them from building up energy and being able to irradiate all your stuff. Now, Plague is already researched. Let's see how good this one's going to be. Oh, whoa. That's pretty good.
And he's going to try to get one more. Does he have energy upgrade? If he does, then he has another Plague.
Well, that means Lurker's going to one-shot most of this bio, and especially under Dark Swarm. Even those fire bats are going to die pretty quickly after being plagued. No energy for another plague, but man, that guy can wiggle pretty fast, so it looks like... Okay, never mind. I don't know.
Energy for Radiate, I guess. Either that or...
He's stalking it across the map.
To kill it.
More Zerglings
on the map for the first time in a while, which is nice. Oh, eOnzErG obviously has no idea about that base. He might have just realized it.
He just found out about it, yeah. Because he's trying to expand to that corner. And he's moving the links down defensively instead of offensively. And he just doesn't even know that the high ground is taken.
He's going to like try to go up there to take a base and then be like, what?
Yeah, he's actually protecting this corner of the map.
I think so. Although with a Defiler there, as long as there's not like a 4 Firebat bunker, he's just going to break the base, obviously. But now Dandy is out on the map with pressure. His vessels are coming forward to irradiate what's up here. Panic sonks, panic creeps going down. Oh, they're not going to be done in time. I hope Eon's got a Defiler coming through a Nidus or something, or else this is going to be a major blunder for Eon.
Yeah, he's got
Eon is shutting down the top base.
Yeah, he's got Defilers and Ultras here, but they are all going to be irradiated. The Defiler just, barely gets off a posthumous.
But all his Marines are like under the swarm. Okay, finally gets an Ultra under the swarm, but everything else was... And he's going to just hold on here is Eon, and of course he is shutting down now Dandy's base, so that is good for him.
Yeah, so there is going to be 4-1 Ultras able to defend the base. The base stays alive. The top of the map, but at the bottom of the map, the base is getting shut down from Dandy, so he finally loses all that econ. And I think eOnzErG is going to kind of do that facepalm moment. It's like, oh man, I can't believe that when he clicks on the mineral, he's going to see he's been mining there for that long.
Especially that gas too that he got there. That's going to be gas that Eon can't have, obviously, later on if this game keeps going.
All right, well, let's
because Dandy has off 3 base.
Yeah, let's see if Eon can defend down here and stop the rest of Dandy's forces from moving out again. I think he's doing a pretty good job, but obviously there's more tech coming through from Dandy as well in the form of 2 battle cruisers.
Yeah, those are annoying. They're just going to be probably A-moved at some natural and force eOnzErG to make a boatload of Scourge to clean him out.
Yeah, really stresses the larva. That's what I think the pros are starting to figure out. It's just like, it takes so much to deal with them. Oh, Plague! Ooh, that's pretty good. Doesn't hit the science vessels. I think those might have been a slightly higher priority target, but let's see how good these irradiates can be. Oh, just 1, 2, 3.
Those are good ones. And the Ultra aren't even fighting. Like, sometimes if you radiate Ultra, they kind of also help kill the bio when they fight like this.
Oh my god, irradiated Ultras.
Clearing most of this.
Yeah, I mean, 1 HP units against AoE versus bio damage. That's going to be pretty good, but BCs will clean them up, but that's a lot of gas to throw away.
Dandy lifted his command center, so the SCVs just returned there to try to mine. I was like, what's up with these SCVs? Yeah, it's because he lifted the command center.
We're gonna have some problems. Ironically enough, they will actually make it all the way home, even though they're being chased by cracklings and ultras. So I think this is actually going to be good for Dandy because he just gets a bunch of units for free.
Yeah, but Dandy is still in this. I feel like this is a pretty comfortable game for Eon because Dandy, like, he gets out on the map, but he can't stay on the map. Every time he gets out on the map, Eon rolls over him, and Eon is now taking. I mean, Eon's on like 6 gases. Be uncomfortable for Dandy, you know. Like, what do you do when Zerg can make 6 gas ultra and he's not going to mine out of those gases anytime soon?
Well, I mean, if it had to be one race, I mean, Terran is very good at turtling on 3 bases. But I mean, this is starting to look like one of those cinematic missions, right? Where just the Zerg just start to overwhelm anything Terran down here. The AoE from the Irradiate actually doing more harm than good here, just plowing through all that bio. And you know, surprisingly, the supplies are pretty even, but the resources are not.
Yeah, they're even, but you know, the map presence from Dandy and also just the sheer number of gases that Eon now has. You know, I think Dandy is going to just basically have to defend all day long, and then he's going to run out. Eon's going to bring down a Defiler or something, and this 3rd base is going to get swarmed, and then Dandy's going to be out of even this 3rd base.
3 BCs, though. I mean, that's just quite a few. There are plenty of Scourge in production, so we'll see how many of these connect. I think it should probably... Okay, 2.
Oh, D-Matrix.
But yeah, that's the
and GG.
The Death Knell D-Matrix, and that's it, GG. Dandy taps out and eOnzErG takes game number 1. Okay, well, sick. That's going to do it for our first game of this best of 5. Really well played from both sides. I think Dandy sneaking that 3rd base really kind of caught eOnzErG off guard and really kept Dandy in the game for quite a while. But as soon as that got shut down, it's like, where are you going to go, right?
Yeah. 3rd baseman getting access to 3 gas like that. I mean, he had that difficult to deal with and just kind of weird. Like, you know, how often do you face Lurker, Guardian, Defiler? That was just kind of weird for Dandy to deal with, and it held him back for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like, so Dandy is the kind of player that, like, if you let him play like a standard game, once he gets rolling, super hard to stop. But I feel like eOnzErG's macro that game, just insanity. After getting that 3rd base up and being able to defend it so early, getting access to those 3 gases, his tech just so far ahead of the curve. I was as surprised as you were. Like, as soon as I scroll down to the natural expansion, there's already Lurkers under Dark Swarm there. I'm like, oh wow, you know, that's just really fast and super hard to deal with. So, I mean, credit to Dandy for holding on as long as he did, but he did lose game number 1, and that means that we're going to head into game number 2, which is going to be on a much more standard map in Circuit Breakers. Let me share this screen. Brood War share. Sick. All right. Well, here we go. It looks like we are about ready to get into our next game. So, wait, El Master, are you still there? Waiting.
That's weird, man.
Hello?
I don't know why that happens. It's like the second time you share it, and it just kills Discord. It goes, oh snap, something went wrong, and then I refresh Discord, and everything's fine.
Nice. Okay, well, for some reason, also for you, when you turn your camera on, it kills your microphone. So that's why, in case you guys are wondering, I have no idea how the technology today is working.
Not only that, but my camera doesn't turn on either. Camera, but you know, Streamlabs or anything else sees my camera just fine. Just not Discord. Discord's hating today. It's hating.
No, thanks Discord. Big fan. Not really, but okay. Well, I guess we're ready for game number 2. Okay, it's our second series, our second game, and it's on circuit breakers. So, I guess we are ready. So let's get into game number 2.
Honestly, if I would have had my camera on, it would have been exciting for you guys because you would have totally seen my crazy facial expressions as the spider just popped into my face.
Okay, well, here we go. Game number 2 is getting underway. Oh, sorry, I didn't leave the 5 seconds for the BSL logo to fly into the screen. Sorry for your production value, Zero. But I think we're ready. We're good. Okay, thanks, Zero. Shh, you're not supposed to talk, Zero. They don't know you're here. So let's get into game number 2. Oh, so I just sound like I'm crazy. Okay, so you guys can't hear Zero. Wow, okay.
Yeah, Rapid's just talking to himself over here. I don't know what's going on, guys.
Okay, this is Dandy's the green Terran in the bottom right-hand corner.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the brown Zerg leading 1-0, we have eOnzErG, the coach.
All right, let me set the latency, and we're good. So eOnzErG's up 1-0, and I think he definitely deserves that. Sorry, what did you say?
I said just wow, that makes such a difference.
Oh, the latency, yeah. It's turns out we're sending our little packets all over the world. The miracle of technology, alive and well, at least when that's concerned. So, well, let's see how game number 2 goes. I think obviously seeking bases against opponents, something that you can only do kind of infrequently. So I think eOnzErG is probably going to be a little bit more vigilant when he checks around to see if there is an extra base somewhere, because he almost overextended when he tried to kill what he thought was the 3rd, which was actually the 4th base of Dandy. Sorry, I'm catching like the last little bit of what you're saying, El Master. So
like cut off, or
yeah, I think it's cutting you off a little bit.
Well, hopefully it'll stop. Well, it looks like Eon is getting a bunch of drones and such things, so probably a 12 hatch here. Actually, wait. Yeah, 12 hatch from Eon.
Yeah, I looked up and I thought this Overlord was a drone. I was like, oh my god, what is he doing? But no, it's actually the scouting Overlord. And just now, yeah, the 12 hatch is going to come down. I don't think we're going to see him go hatch gas pool, but obviously we've seen that already once today. And we're going to start to scout out and see what's happening. It is just going to be a standard 1-Rax expo, I would imagine, but I guess we'll keep an eye on things there and find out how lucky this drone is.
Looks like Eon is going to do what's called the optimized which is where you go pool on 13. Scan wrote a guide about it a couple years ago. It's basically like the macro way to do 12 hatch. You just go 12. You go 12 hatch, and then 2 more drones, 13 pool, and then 14 hatch, 13 gas, and it basically just everything just flows a lot better if you do it that way. But of course, a little more susceptibility to bunker rush and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he did find the SCV out on the map. It was double SCV scout, by the way, so he's really getting out there looking to make sure that he knew what was coming his way. And he's both players are going to scout at about the same time, but I think the bigger sort of load off of his shoulders is going to be from eOnzErG, who knows that he's not getting rushed or anything super crazy like that. Neither hatch nor gas denied by the SCV, so eOnzErG's probably feeling pretty good right now.
Everything's going right. He actually got two free hits off on the Marine with the drone. I mean, not a game changer, but you know. I was kind of surprised at that. He got 1 hit, and then he got 2 hits, and then he still got out alive with his drone. I was like, dang.
Yeah, and they don't make these drones like they used to. See, actually, the SCV getting in there and being a little bit annoying, but more importantly, just sticking around and kind of being the eyes and ears for Danny to see, okay, how many Zerglings are going to be in production. He's only going to build those minimal too. And yeah, this is a lot of persistent scouting information for him to have while he is busy getting that fast expo up.
And it looks like that's an eBay, right, for eOnzErG?
It is.
+1, +1 5-Rex.
Well, we're going to see the racks obviously be added here momentarily, but eOnzErG will not. And so that could be a little bit surprising if you can't find a way to get like a random Zergling in there or sack an Overlord to see. Obviously, you can do things like count the amount of bio, but it's easy to hide their numbers. If you're a Terran player who likes to play like a Sand People style, Marines walk single file, you can't tell how many there are.
Yeah, like you won't be able to know for sure if you like did something unorthodox, like build 2 or 3 Raxes before gas. But he'll know that it's not, you know, a 1-1-1 or anything weird like that because he's seen that there's no gas. He's seen the natural CC. He just doesn't know the actual like specifics, like whether it's 2 Rax Academy or +1 5-Rax or whatever.
Yep, as is that +1 is already on the way. So really going to be looking for these racks to come down as kind of the next step in the plan. From Dandy. Meanwhile, on the other side, things going pretty standardly, I guess, from eOnzErG. Just waiting to see what happens.
Be about done, and then yeah, Spire's gonna go down here for Eon.
But where? Is he a natural Spire guy or a main Spire? Okay, he's main Spire guy. All right.
Right there. Eon vision.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like when you don't really care. I always like when players like get a little bit creative. Their placement on the off chance that the scan just barely misses it, and then you just become a really confused Terran player and just like, well, I mean, I guess, but you probably could have figured it out other ways. But it is going to be a Spire on the way here, 3 hatch. I don't know. I think this is really going to rely on Eon's micro, which has been very, very good with mutas. But I mean, there's just going to be quite a few barracks here, and obviously a lot of bio to micro against.
Most definitely. It looks like 4 is going to go. Yeah, he's going to go 5 Rax. All right, so we got all 5. And is that a drone for Eon looking to take a 3rd base fairly promptly? It might be.
Could be.
Yes, it is. Getting it over there right away. He's actually got some minerals banked up, but no Muta yet. I wonder if he's going to take it before Muta.
Well, say that one for... keeps moving around. I guess he's just going to make sure there's absolutely nothing up there.
No, I think he's going to hide it, so if he like scans there to see if there's already one, he doesn't see it, and then he'll come back, make Muta, and then make his hatch after. He just sent the drone there, I guess, earlier, so that if he loses map control, he can still be ready to start the hatch and not have a hard time sneaking a drone out.
Well, Dandy did not scan up there, so he's maybe going to have another opportunity to throw that down. But he is going to wait until those mutas are out, and there's a full 9 in production. But still no way that Eon knows the number of barracks on the other side of the map. And even though the 5th one is just now finishing up, he shouldn't be able to kind of divine that just from seeing this first little tiny clump of bio out on the map.
Yeah, and knowing that nothing has moved out yet, that already tells him that it's, you know, not like 2 Rax Academy or something like that, because you'd move out sooner than that.
So you're starting to eliminate builds as a Zerg player and say, okay, well, what do I know it's not? And he's already figured out that it's probably going to be something around 4 or 5. Just not totally sure on the number right there. But let's see what how effective these mutas can be.
Moving from those Zerglings, it was just enough to kind of scare Dandy and keep him from getting out on the map now. And that allows Eon to play here over these double bridges as well. The range probably is done. Oh wow, that was a really good muta shot. Actually, he killed 3 of them.
Yeah, he did get
range
Marines.
done. Never mind.
Yeah, I lost the muta for it, so I guess I don't know how you want to value that trade, but it is starting to pick away at that force. Obviously, I guess mutas are more valuable than Marines right now because Dandy can just make so many of them. And I think that is going to really help him out when it comes to defending against mutas and this big pack of lings behind them.
Muta gonna sweep into the main for a second, take a few Marine shots, but he does dance out of there before losing another one. Oh, he's only got 8, but he's got quite a few lings here. And that, okay, Dandy's gonna move back smartly, but now reconnects with a little bit more bio. Now he's got enough to take this on.
Ooh, picks off another muta here. Now only 7. I was gonna say that I expected Eon to reinforce this muta count like he had done before, but he is going straight into lurkers. The aspect just now finishing. He should start to morph them here momentarily, but not before they obviously get further out on the map. So, you know, the mutas have not actually done that much. If you segment your bio like that, they will.
Yeah.
So a few more Marines do get picked off. And obviously, that's a much better trade for Eon.
Personally, eOn sent out that drone, you know, quite early to make the fourth base or third base or whatever, rather, but is only just now gonna put it down. Sent it out that early if he never intended to hatch that quickly.
Still waiting quite a while for this base to come down. So I don't know if you want to consider that late yet, but the idea is the lurkers are morphing out of vision. They have not been scanned or scouted. And as soon as these guys hatch, obviously that's going to be a great opportunity, especially if Dandy is way out on the map.
It's definitely a slow third base timing, so eOn's kind of delaying that in favor of having more lurkling, and he's got it all at the bottom here, so I'm curious if he wants to leave a few at home and then just counter.
Well, he is going to actually go for the counter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like he wanted to, but Dandy seems to be onto this. I don't know if he scanned this and knows about it, or if
he
he's
can burrow and
being careful.
I mean, these ramps are going to be almost impossible to move.
No, he doesn't know about it. He's going to know about it now, but he just moved his bio away.
Oh my god.
Massive surround.
Yeah, the immaculate move from eOnzErG to just totally blindside Dandy. His army is nowhere to be found. His main and natural are going to start to be devastated. The Lings on the high ground, the Mutas killing off the turrets, and only now is Dandy's bio returning home.
Oh man, this is so nice for eOn, because this also means that Dandy has to, you know, Dandy decided to come back, so eOn's getting his third base up. He's killed quite a few of the SCVs. Of the bio ball, he's even over the barracks, continuing to pick off reinforcements. So Dandy is certainly going to clear this, but that was very frustrating for Dandy.
Whew, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big hit for eOnzErG to take in the form of losing all of his lurkers, all of his Lings and Mutas, so that's a lot of gas just like down the drain, but he did get a lot of damage done with it. And the third base is up behind it, so he should be able to kind of recoup those losses. He's going in for round 2 here. I don't know how much more effective this is going to be, but look at these lurker spines, already one starting to hit. A couple of the medics a little bit slow to retreat, and eOn's making a little bit of a dent here.
Forward, but there should be target firing, picking off at least one of the lurkers.
Oh,
and now Dandy can take care of this, and the burrow is a bit late too, so that goes well for Dandy.
That was really kind of painful. A little bit of a flashback at Jaedong there for a second. You run your lurkers in and they just don't do anything. But crucially enough, this is still going to kind of contain Dandy back in his 2 bases. Keep that third a little bit safer, but Dandy is not going to stay contained for long. Yeah, he scans, takes both of them out. He's going to start to push a little bit further.
The question here, sometimes you'll see aggressive Zergs look really scary. They do a bunch of stuff in Terran's natural. It looks so bad for Terran, and all of a sudden the Zerg just dies, and there's a possibility that eOn is in that case, especially because I don't see a gas at the third until just now, and his hive isn't, well, his hive is done, but it's not especially fast. But that late third gas, eOn can't make a ton of lurkers, and Dandy should have his vessel tech. We saw he went double starport, so he should have vessels on the way here shortly.
Yeah, he's already researching Irradiate, and eOnzErG has no upgrades at all. I don't think he even has an Evo, if I'm not mistaken. So that is going to mean, yeah,
especially on circuit breaker, because bio, you're probably going to stay on bio. So
yeah, he's already on 1-1 with 2-2 already started and on the way. So Dandy's forces are going to continue to scale up, whereas eOn's are going to take a little bit longer. But obviously, tech for Zerg can be even more effective, and Defiler Mound is just about to finish up.
How far to 2-2 is Dandy?
It just now started, so it's maybe 33% of the way done.
Yeah. So it's going to be some very strong bio that does not die, especially the Zerglings. My God.
Yeah, the macro's super on point for Dandy. even with the crack upgrade, they're just going to keep hitting away and not doing that much exercise and futility there, but still very strong bioforce out on the map. Maybe a little bit medic light. Okay, all the medics are actually all the way up front, so going to be walling things off as they cross the bridges to the upper left towards.
Oh, he's got 2 lurkers, but there's a vessel or 2 to irradiate there. Okay, there is a Nidus Canal, but that hinges on eOn having enough stuff at home. Obviously, these lurkers are going to fall.
Well, Consume's not done yet, so there's not going to be Dark Swarm for this.
Down another lurker, but 1 is not enough. 1 will not hold.
Also not burrowed. There it goes with the burrow. He does need more. Obviously, the mischance is going to be pretty effective.
That's going to force Dandy back. He's
eOnzErG,
going to go
good.
crazy, and perhaps with the
What?
armor advantage, he doesn't immediately die, so he somehow breaks up the ramp. Now he's got room to split, and remember, with these upgrades, his army is very strong. He's got enough spread. I think he's going to clear these lurkers, and that makes the third base vulnerable, and Eon just lost his third, unless there's something crazy coming through the Nidus Canal.
No, he's absolutely going to lose it. Consume is just now finishing up. There's a last-second opportunity for a Defiler to pop out of here. Consume and Darkstorm. But Darkstorm doesn't protect buildings, and so that's going to do it. GG. Wow. Damn, Dandy. That was very, very convincing. Oh, I think by
back in. Yeah, there was like a moment where everything was like
when I connect and disconnect the screen sharing, it like disconnects Elmaster pretty consistently. So that's really weird. Whew, wow. Okay, so that is a very convincing game there from Danny. I thought it was going to be a little bit rough there when he had his army way out in the middle of the map and nothing to defend his natural. But even though Eon got in and did a bunch of damage, I guess it wasn't enough to stop.
Oh, especially without those upgrades. Those upgrades, man. Yeah. Like when you got 1-1 against 0-0, he was able to break something that you wouldn't usually expect a Terran to be able to break up a ramp against lurkers burrowing.
Yeah, it's like you think to yourself, wait a second, this is the formula. But unlike math, Brood War does not always equal the same thing. It's like lurkers on high ground up a ramp versus bio. Well, the equation doesn't work the same when you're as badass as Dandy is. And you're right, that armor upgrade on the bio just really made such a huge difference when he was pushing up there.
Yeah, and props to Dandy for recognizing it, because I mean, I think against normal upgrades, going up layer would have been suicidal, but I'm assuming Dandy had checked the upgrades and was like, well, I'm going for this, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. You only got one up here. I'm committing.
Yeah, and even the rest of the lurkers, as they kind of trickled in, never really had that critical mass to be able to take that out. So,
for those wondering about my camera, Discord hates my camera. It doesn't see it. Everything else sees my camera, but I select my webcam, and Discord's just like, nope, there's no picture there. Lies.
Yeah, sorry.
And when I put the camera on, it kills the audio to boot.
It's just so weird. Oh, man. Okay, well, the third map is somewhat surprisingly Benzene. And so Dandy might have started to build up a little bit of momentum. And going into Benzene, he's going to probably feel pretty good about that. Because like you said, that's just such a rough ZVT map.
He's going to have some fun there. It's going to be a tough map for you, and I'm curious to see if he chooses to do 3-hatch or 2-hatch play, but it's not particularly great for either of them. It's a really tough map to get a fourth base if you play macro, and it's just not that great for harass if you don't. I mean, there's no cliffs really to be abused in either base. The narrow's natural and pretty easy to defend. There's not wide open room. It's just
Well, we are heading into our third game here. It's going to be on Benzene, and it's tied up at 1-1, so essentially a best of 3 in the round of 8 of the BSL5. So this is going to really be a huge boost for one of our players to advance on to the semifinals. Already starting to get into a very strong chunk of change for our increased prize pool. So very meaningful for either one of our players. For the loser, out of the tournament. So a very big matchup. So let's go ahead and get into game number 3 on Benzene. All right, and away we go.
Discord stayed alive.
Imagine that. You're alive. And so are we into game number 3. The map is Benzene, and in the upper right, in the mustard, this is our Terran player Dandy.
And in the bottom left, I guess since we're going with this theme, as the ketchup-colored Zerg, we have eOnzErG.
Or Sriracha, if you're one of those people. Or Tabasco, I guess you could go with that as well. Whatever condiment is your go-to. I was at the after party for KSL earlier, and we had this discussion with Last and Soulkey, and I was very outnumbered. Tasteless is a mustard person. They're mustard people. And although when Koreans say that they're mustard people, they mean honey mustard, not actual mustard. And I was the only ketchup person at the table, so I was very upset about that. Of course, for Koreans, this would be the gochujang color, which is their red pepper paste that they put
Funny
in
too,
everything.
Since we picked condiments that a lot of people see as like complimenting each other for like burgers and stuff like that, someone was also saying, a few people have been saying that eOnzErG and Dandy look kind of similar, like brothers from another mother's type of thing. So I guess it's fitting that you picked complementary.
Well, the secret is that in Korean culinary, I guess, techniques, the gochujang just goes with anything. It's just like kimchi. It's like, what do you have? And then you put this with it. It's like, what's that? You have a birthday cake? What if we put red pepper paste on top? And it's like, wow, I can't believe we've never thought of that before. It's just really weird. But hey, I guess when you got a winning formula, why stop?
Yeah, with another 12th hat, she obviously likes that build and is comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think for the most part, we've only seen him do that so far. I mean, I guess it's kind of middle of the road on the erring on the economic side. So this is actually lagging quite a bit for me. I did set my latency, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I think so. One of the things we do to kind of help zero out is turn my camera off. But when I'm screen sharing, it's also screen sharing with zero. So I think it might also be lagging zero. So I don't know. Hopefully nobody's computers or mics or cameras explode, because I feel like we're stressing all three of those quite a bit during this broadcast. Stressful.
Poor internet. The poor internet being stressed so hard. Although actually no, that might actually be Zero's PC if it's video stuff.
Well, it's also stuttering for me, so I guess that's internet. I don't know. But
the replay stuttering is internet, but if like the encoding, if that means extra video, like Zero's computer might be struggling on the video side.
I guess the biggest thing to talk about as far as the game is that Dandy 14 CC'd, so that's a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, economically aggressive, I should say, because you just die to a whole lot of stuff. But obviously it's two-player maps, so you're going to scout correctly, so you're going to see kind of what's coming your way. And unless it's just like a wacky, like, proxy hatch or something like that, you're going to get there in time to see maybe what's coming and hopefully have time to deal with it. And it's the second barracks immediately afterwards, so we're really starting to kind of... When you build 14 CC, you hold your breath, and then as soon as you complete your couple of barracks, you start to be able to breathe again. It's like, okay, I can start to actually not worry about dying instantly to any aggression.
Slayer, though, very fast. So he's going to opt to play the two hatchway on this map. And now we're just going to wait to see what the tech path choice is going to be.
Let's see if he can actually deny vision of this lair for quite a while. Obviously, you're going to realize, wait a second, this gas is going somewhere. Where is it going?
Yeah, but if Danny doesn't get to natural or doesn't know, he might also just be worried that eOnzErG is gonna link speed him. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dandy! That's a blunder. That's a blunder because he doesn't see a lair, but it's not so long to know. So he doesn't know 100% here what eOnzErG is doing.
So he got link speed and lair, and he's still mining gas from the main, obviously. But this could be confusing if Dandy's like not really thinking through kind of the motions. And this is where like Terrans like Flash can seem like psychic, where they just see every little tiny matrix-like detail and know exactly what their opponent's doing. But for Dandy, he might be a little bit in the dark.
And he's not getting a bunker, but he does have a pretty good wall here so far.
Yeah,
it looks like maybe he's going to build something else. Okay, yeah, he's going to build one more building and really maybe that's even a bunker. So he's getting ready now.
Okay, so the links at the front. He's only showing obviously the first 6, so he's not going to give too much away. But he gets a nice bonus charity SCV there. He's going to go deeper for more.
2 or 3.
Oh my God! What?
Oh, he wants to run by. That was weird. He really wanted that Marine, I guess.
Oh wow, he's actually getting quite a few Marines here. Ooh. And limiting those Marines is going to mean so... It's going to make so much difference when these lurkers hit.
That must have been why he wanted to go for the Marines. Is it lurker or is it Meta? I haven't actually seen the tech.
It is lurker. Sorry, I'm not showing as much as I should be. A terrible observer. But yeah, it's going to be...
Oh, so that means that's concerning. That bunker placement is... Your screen just went black for me.
Wait, what? Oh my God.
It's like, I see your cursor, but nothing else. There we go. Now it's back.
Okay, I didn't change anything. Okay. Well, anyway, yes, the bunker placement is concerning.
Oh no, I was thinking. I was thinking it was more exposed than it is. Actually, it looks like it covers the mineral line reasonably well. I was worried that he could just come in on the right side and shut down like half the mineral line, but it covers it. It's fine.
Well, one of the great things that you can do with lurkers on this map is break through the power generator up top and just put them behind the natural expansion. And it's like, well, you know, what do you
Dandy is
do at
prepping
that
for
point?
that. Is that a
Yeah.
bunker he's building, or is that a supply depot? Okay, yeah, he's prepping for it just in case. He's like, all right, you bust us down. I'm gonna have a bunker and just stonewall you. That way.
Yeah. Although I think no, I was thinking if there was another way to get through there. Obviously, you can kind of siege down the supply depot above the bunker, but even that is not really going to be too much damage. But I don't think he wants to like go for the chip approach to this. I think he's just going to like Han Bong it.
Probably. Not the kind of map you want to take to the late game.
Well, here we go.
Oh, yeah, this is weird. I don't know why he did that. He didn't lose anything though. Well, actually, he did lose some stuff. Pull back here, and just Burrow is going to catch the medic. Yes. Okay. Good catch.
Nice. That was a little bit weird from both players. Like, Dandy, why are you way out there? And Eon committed a lot of lings and then lost a bunch of them too. Trying to move
lurkers, but it's not perfectly coordinated. And Dandy runs down here trying to get a split off, but that does not pan out. But not that many lurkers in range of the bunker. Is he in range? No, the turret's going to get up too. He will deny a second bunker, and one bunker is a little touch and go for defending this, especially with those losses. Once there's 5 or 6 lurkers, they can come up there and take out one bunker. Dandy really needs to start a second one, but the second one is going to be out of position in the mineral line. These are scary moments for Dandy.
And Dandy's losing just a little bit here and there. Loses the turret, loses the medic at the front door. The siege is still coming through. He's not repairing the supply depot, so even that's going to start to take damage over time. He is actually going to chip things down here. But look at what he's got coming across the map. More lurkers, more lings. He is really going to go for this, and he's teching behind it with a queen's nest on the way.
Oh, okay. That's going to give him a second option, obviously, how to play it, a la the zero or effort versus flash game. Until Defiler comes if he opts to play that way.
Yeah, and of course also going to break through. There's actually nothing in this top bunker, so if he does get those lurkers on the high ground behind, okay, now he's finally moving a few Marines over there. I was a little bit worried if he breaks through and catches him off guard, but this is still such a difficult contain to deal with. The Queen's Nest is done. The Hive is not on the way yet, so we don't have that tech coming through. But he's going to go for it, try to bust through.
Does he have enough? I don't think he does, but there's really late repairs, so maybe he does have enough. The other bunker has nothing in it. Wow, okay. No repair, no nothing. Dandy is pretty dead.
Yep, that's your answer, Elmaster. Lurkers versus SCVs. That's like rock, paper, scissors.
And Marines over the ramp at insult to injury. There we go, GG.
The most terrible version of that. Wow. And that's just going to do it. Dandy taps out. GG.
Oh, I don't understand how 3 lurkers or 4 lurkers and some lings just busted. I guess he should have had 3 bunkers, but that was a little surprising.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you play that same scenario back like 2 or 3 different times, you get different results each time. Because I don't think that you can look at that and just know that it's going to work out that way. Obviously, if he hadn't moved the Marines out of that 3rd bunker on the low ground to the high ground to defend against the lurkers breaking through up there,
yeah, that had part to do with it.
Yeah, that might have kind of tipped the scales a little bit. But obviously, you have to do that because if the lurkers get behind your mineral line, it's like, well, you know, sorry, that's also a really bad spot to be in. But wow, eOnzErG really going for a lot of pressure. And we talked about this, like, why do you want to play ZVT on Benzene? It's really rough if you have to play a longer kind of style game. But eOnzErG had no intentions of playing a long game there for sure. And that puts him on match point in the series.
Yeah, looking to eliminate Dandy from BSL, which, I mean, I guess you can't say it would be an upset, but it's just going to be the loss of a big name for sure. You know, it's like if Flash plays Rain, you know, someone big is going home.
Yeah, and it always feels bad because when you look at that, like analytically, you're just seeing like 2 absolute badasses who are just like super sick. And you're just, well, I mean, realistically, it's going to be surprising regardless of which player loses. But a lot of times what happens is that one player will be on form on the day and the other player won't be playing like their absolute best. I think that was kind of the case of the KSL games earlier on today. But for this game, it does appear as if both players are still playing really well, but eOnzErG just seems to have that little extra edge that is carrying him to victory in some of these games.
Now we're going into a game on Roadkill, which will be interesting. A pretty wide open natural, so some different options there.
Yeah, and the way that the base or the ridge of cliffs outside the bases is, it makes it weird if you want to go for like an aggressive kind of rush build. So, oops, sorry, I didn't respect the intro video again. But here we go into game number 4. Let me set my latency here, and we're good. So starting in the 9 o'clock location, on the left-hand side of the screen, oh.
as much as I don't want to see your face.
Elmaster can't see anything. I'm like, wow, this is hard mode, man.
Rapid's eyes are carefully focusing on the screen. A smile appears on his lips.
Okay, so now you can see. I was just gonna be casting that, and then you're listening to my voice and trying to figure out what's going on. So Dandy is the player on the left-hand side of your screen in the green.
And leading this series 2-1, looking to close it out right here, we have IFU's eOnzErG.
There he is. So if you are just now joining us, you tuned in at basically the cusp, the culmination, the climax of the series. It's been really kind of touch and go, but eOnzErG has been playing really aggressively. His micros look very on point. He's played a lot of Muta style. That last game was a lurker bust, and he's made it all look really good. So let's keep an eye on that as we go through the early game here. What has really kind of impressed you about Dandy, especially I guess in the game that he won, Elmaster?
In general, just his overall, his combination of everything. You know, he's one of the guys that combines solid micro with just really solid macro. He's just, I mean, the word that comes to mind when I think of Dandy's play is solid.
Yeah, I think, man, it's so hard because obviously the players that win more overall are the more averagely solid players, but the players that like have these just like really like sexy moments that get all the highlights, all the hype, are maybe not the most solid players, but the players who are able to just like really show up on a given day. So it feels like Dandy is not going to be the player that pulls off these like super sick, flashy, sexy moves, but he's always going to hit his macro cycle. He's got super solid builds. He's going to know how to play in most situations, and that does deserve to be kind of complimented and rewarded because it is still a very strong way to play.
eOnzErG is going to go 2-hatch play here. So we see he takes that gas right after his pool.
Yeah, and on the other side, we are just probably going to see... oh, actually, this is going to be 1-1-1.
Yeah, or maybe a factory, maybe mech. A few options.
Yeah, opening mech versus Zerg, man, that is like... I remember that was sort of flavor of the month for a while, like years and years ago, and then it just took a nosedive. It's like, well, you can't really get away with that. Like, vultures are good, but they're not that good.
Well, the lack of the wall does make me think it's probably not going to be mech or 2-port Wraith or something like that, because that would be a bit odd to do with no wall.
Well, it's like, what are you going to do if they put any units on your side of the map?
Of course, yeah, how I'd characterize Dandy, you know, I said solid is the word that comes to mind, and of course the word I think that would come to mind if I were going to characterize Eon, or True Touch for that matter, is aggressive.
Oh yeah,
that's
certainly.
Exactly what Eon's going for. You know, tournament on the line, and we're seeing a 2-hatch play here, so I'm not too surprised by that.
Yeah, I really
to commit to what they feel the best at when something is like really on the line. Eon's facing match point.
I love it when players are willing to like come into that final game and then just have the guts to go with a very aggressive or kind of risky strategy. I feel like for Dandy, I don't. What is your thought on the 1-1-1 Elmaster? Because it seems to be a little bit outdated. I think it was a big weakness of like Sharp in the KSL finals.
I'm curious to see where that goes, because you know we obviously saw effort show that there was a lot of vulnerabilities if you play it right.
Yeah.
And we see that it's really only Last and Flash that are heavily sticking to it nowadays. But kind of like I still feel like the jury is, you know, it might turn to be more of a niche build, or maybe Flash can find some ways to refine it. But I feel like effort did a really good job figuring out ways you could abuse it.
Now, one of the biggest ways to abuse it is with early aggression, especially if you can catch early vultures. And if you can pin these vultures up against some sort of wall, that would be a huge moment. Oh my god!
Good control right there. Leon is looking to get the surround, he's not going to get it.
Oh my god, he had so many opportunities to maybe get those surrounds.
Was that a Hydra den? Because I saw a structure go down at what
I believe it was a Hydra. Yeah, it is going to be a Hydra follow-up speed on the way.
Okay. To see if Dandy can channel his inner Flash in the 2 victorious games against Effort and hold this off.
Okay, let's see if he can. Oh, he's coming around the back for maybe a little bit of a flank.
Is almost really good. He's going to get one, I think. Oh, so slippery.
Yeah. Barely.
He's reducing the link count now. Is he getting mines behind this? Because if he gets mines, that'll help defending the lurkers for sure. And he's on his way to Starport Tech.
Yeah, so he's actually going to value getting that Star. Yeah, so he doesn't need an incredible amount of, or he doesn't need like super fast like speed or mines, but he will need that eventually, obviously. Sending the vultures across the map because of course they have impunity for a while, but as soon as this Hydra speed finishes, we are really going to see eOnzErG kicking into high gear.
Yeah, and with all those Hydra, obviously the vultures are going to have not going to be able to do anything. I was a little bit worried at some point that if he moved out, maybe Dandy would do some weird run by. But with all those Hydras, he probably won't go for that.
He is just going to run.
He could risk it, but nah, he's going to come back.
Well, I mean, there's... Okay, so he's going to cancel and immediately... I'm not sure what was going on there, but... I mean, I think it might have been, but yeah, he is going to go for
Hydra run by what? What? Okay, we're going to have a Hydra run by, and this is actually going to be very disruptive.
Yeah, he's gonna.
He can't take everything out of his bunker, so he just has to fight this with like SCVs while he waits for something to pop out. And this is a pretty damn good move. And we see SCV pull here, good bunker repair, and he's gonna hold on. But these Hydra and the main are gonna do a lot of damage. That was very smart by Eon.
Oh my god, I've never combined
the word Hydras. If they can snipe this tank, okay, they can't. He's gonna run away.
Yeah, he blocked the ramp from other Hydras running by immediately. So Dandy kind of holds on for a little bit longer. This is still quite a few SCV kills.
These Hydra are just going to run the but the tank's going to chase him down. He's drawing the tank, though, way to the other side of the base, which would be really awesome if he had a group of Hydra and was ready to surprise at the front, draw that tank away, and then...
He's going to have a round 2 here, but a couple of these Hydras are... hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Is it okay? No, it's very stuttering in the replay.
Yeah, I was going to say that the replay is what's...
Okay. Lag overwhelming. I'm sure that's like an anti-cheat code.
Okay. Well, I mean, you were the one that was talking about wanting to play a game on like the slowest speed to have 1,000,000 APM.
I'm hoping this is just going to clear up. This is weird. The slowest marine walk ever.
I don't know if it's a replay thing, because like I can move around the map fine.
Your screen just black out. Came back.
Okay.
It's like maybe less than a frame per second. Right about one FPS.
I don't. I mean, I've got the game time, so we could like redo the replay, but. The bunker loading sound is like, whoop, you made it. Sick.
Oh, well.
We're getting a couple frames at a time now.
I'm not even an observer. It's the Korean Poland access. Yeah, let's go I agree.
Okay, all right. We're at 6:53 or something like that. So, we are going to try this.
Double bunkers, if they're both garrisoned with
8 Marines, I think Dandy's gonna hold though.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first run by was obviously the most potent, did the most damage. Let's get back in here.
That was a nice move.
I'm excited to see the exciting conclusion of this game. It's kind of weird. This is our commercial break in the middle. In the future, this is going to be standard for all tournaments. We build it up, and then right when there's that big attack, we put up like the. What is that, the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme? Or there's an anime, right, where they just like, end spontaneously in the middle of something and go to credits? Yeah. I forget what that is.
Or we could just do like we could just bring back the old buffer into GG, 2009 days.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. Oh man, you're taking me back. Um, so Zero needs to be taking us back into this replay. As soon as that game is up, I will get back into it, and we can have some more. We can watch the exciting conclusion. This is like those shows where like they'll reach a climax, they'll play the theme song, and then after the theme song, they have like a quick like summary of what is going to happen in the next episode. I never liked those, but things like Pokemon, Sailor Moon, like a bunch of different animes, like all did that, and I was not a big fan of that. But we could do something like that. I just want to see the exciting conclusion. So let me make sure that everybody's good to go here.
Or even stuff like Game of Thrones, where they end every episode with just brutally obnoxious cliffhangers, where you're just like,
sometimes literal cliffhangers. I think it was season 2. They ended an episode with somebody literally hanging off a cliff. I was like, that's a little bit on the nose, don't you think? Like, okay, we get it. You're cool, but that's when they still thought they were edgy. Yeah, they still thought they were edgy for killing off main characters there too. And I was like, lost that one a while ago.
They toned that down a little bit too.
Okay, we're going Q4 time. What am I doing here? Join. I'm not seeing it. I'm actually going to restart my client here. Give me 1 second, and I will be right back in there. The vehicle of esports. We are really taxing it today. But it's good to have you here, Alabaster. I was talking to Zero, and he's feeling a little bit under the weather here today. So I was very happy that you could join.
It finally happened. I was like, at some point, I'm probably gonna end up casting with Rapid. There've been a few opportunities where we'd like sort of talked about it. There've been some like maybe, but it just never coalesced. And now it finally happened.
Yeah, sooner or later I will actually cast with everybody. It's like as soon as I got out here to Korea, I was like, okay, well I'm here to do one thing. And then within like 6 months, I was casting like 8 games, like 12 casters. I'm like, this is not by design by any means. So
what did you initially come out for?
So I was really originally out there for a different game, and then did StarCraft 2 when Pro League was first, or I guess it was the last season of Pro League. So I caught like just the bare edge of that, maybe a month or 2 after I got out there. And let me see. I'm not seeing Zero's games. So that's like the hard part for me. So I'm trying to get back in here, but I'm unable to find games that match my search setting. I'm on Europe too, so I don't know. Maybe that was the issue. It's that for some reason my computer and Zero's are not working very well together. Why don't we take a small... Okay, well, maybe now. Okay, let me try it now. Can you search for or see these games, Elmaster? Maybe I could watch off...
Actually, I could look. Yeah, I was going to say, the one thing... Like, I was going to say that possibly I could screen share, but that might overwhelm my PC, because my huge weak link is my GPU. It's comically bad.
Well, let's see if I can find where Zero's coming from here. Oh, I think a lot of people are saying that something's wrong with the servers. I need to put on my double-brimmed Sherlock Holmes detective hat, because I think we're getting down to the bottom of this. Apparently, people are saying that they can't get into ranked games, that servers are lagging.
Can't even log in. It seems like my login just like froze.
Well, I think it is time to make the joke that I made a reality and cut to a small break in the middle of this show. So if Zero can do his 6 screen wipe to commercial break, we'll be back as soon as we can get the servers to cooperate with us and have the exciting conclusion of Game 4. Starting things off with eOnzErG versus Dandy. And when we last left our heroes, we were seeing a Hydra run by from eOnzErG. It got in, did a bunch of economic damage, killed a bunch of SCVs, and now we're watching kind of round 2, or the second half of that. And it does look like things are working a little bit better this time around, so we are trying our best to get back into this and see whether or not eOnzErG will be able to follow up with any additional damage.
All right, so it looks like, yeah, Ian's going to have to go into macro here. There's bunkers up, so he's just going to continue his tech, get up a third hatchery. And the good news for Eon is that he did get those 5 Hydras to run by. He did some nice mining disruption, and he killed, I think it was about 5 SCVs?
It might have been a little bit more than that, but somewhere around there.
Yeah. So definitely enough to have Dandy's economy stinging a little bit. We can see it looks pretty healthy at the natural. He's getting his second gas pretty fast, so that goes along with that. I'm spacing on the build. 1-1-1.
Yeah, it's going to help his tech out. He's going to have science vessels, eventually, but the biggest thing is he's been able to stabilize against an aggressive build, and so he's hanging on. I want to see what direction he can go. He's going to go for a Wraith here, and I mean that's one of the best things about 1-1-1 is that you are so versatile, and you can do so many things. And sometimes it's difficult for Zerg to figure out what direction you want to go.
Funny too, because this is playing out like 1-1-1 now, because normally the first thing you do is make a Wraith, and Zerg would just have a Hydra Den and a Spire on the way, and you'd get a little bit of scouting, and that looks like what Eon's doing. He's got his Spire started. I'm curious to see if he's going to go Muta. How much gas does Eon have?
604, something
okay,
like
yeah,
that.
He very well might go Muta.
Yeah, I mean the Hydra is almost about to finish. First Wraith is out, and we'll be scouting things like the third base in the upper left-hand corner. But yeah, I'm actually really.
Oh, he's gonna fly over the Hydra. Is he on? Okay, good reaction. Good reaction.
Hydra's brain AFK, not able to really do anything, and the Wraith is probably just gonna be able to, scout through everything and back.
Well, but it has not found it has not gone looking for the third base yet. He's more curious about what's in the main. He needs to see the tech, the plan, where Eon's going with this, and Eon still has quite a few Hydra out on the map. Or Dandy.
Yeah. Now, if you are the Zerg player here, it's the upper left where you really want to expand. I mean, usually you see players expand away from their opponents, and a lot of times Zergs as their third will take like another main. I don't know, but that's still going to be pretty close, especially if there's like a dropship that comes out next from that starport. But the Mutas are out. They're going to get in there, delay the Academy from finishing, actually find a big weak spot.
Oh no, Eon suddenly going to town on the tanks. That is a nice find, and the SCVs. There's no turrets over here. This is really bad.
Oh my god, is Eon just going to...
Yeah, this is going to do a lot of damage.
Oh my gosh. What? How did he get in there? I guess there's just a hole in the turret line. So Mutas deal a ton of damage.
But he's going after it. He gets it. Now there's not even a vessel out. And remember, there's only 1 Rax of Marine production, although he did lose a lot of Mutas, but he's got an area he can micro in. He's going to get another 3 or 4 SCV kills probably. He's going to continue to pick off Marines.
Well, the Mutas are actually very, very weak, and so
actually he's going to lose.
Wow.
Still 2 tanks, a vessel. That's, what did he get? 5, 6 SCVs for 5 Muta? That's a pretty good ROI on your Muta.
I mean, killing the first vessel but losing all your Mutas is a little bit of a Pyrrhic victory, because it's just like, hey, I did the thing, but, the thing that the thing is supposed to counter doesn't exist anymore, so you need it. I mean, obviously you still need it, but the tanks is another big part of that, because obviously every Zerg is afraid of the Terran's first push, and now it's going to be significantly neutered. Stifled.
Especially losing those 2 tanks, and again, more economic damage for him as well. And he kept the Marine count down, and that's one of the issues here too for Dandy. Dandy is still on 1 Rax, so he's not coming out with Marine tank push, vessel push anytime soon, because 1 Rax does not give you enough Marines to get a presence on the map.
So one big difference is that we're going to see upgrades from eOnzErG this time around. So in the game that he lost, he was never able to keep up. This time he will be. Carapace about halfway done. But we are going to see a transition from Mutas, not sticking on that, going to Lurkers. We're heading up to 5 hatches as well.
So, I mean, Eon did something kind of aggressive, unusual, opening up with that, 2 hatch and then quick Hydra ups. to apply pressure, and now we're kind of transitioning into more or less a normal game.
Scans reveal everything, so Dandy's going to know that we're transitioning that way and be able to head that way himself.
Scans reveal a pretty robust third base economy too, not an anemic one.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't scout that with the first Wraith, so it might have been a little bit surprising for him to, not know that timing and then scan and see, wow, this has been, really up and running. Man, this is so weird for me because I see the beginning be 1-1-1, but the transition from there be into still, a lot of like bio SK kind of style.
Although quite a few tanks, I think he's got what, 3, 4 back there, but he has not gone for the 2-port vessel like we see so often with 1-1-1.
Okay,
it's gonna be a scary army. 5 tanks, 3 or 4 vessels. That's
okay.
Especially if the Marine count gets to be more than like 4.
Yeah, I thought I saw him throwing down a barracks instead of committing to additional factory units, but it's the exact opposite of that. He is continuing to pump tanks, he's pumping out of 5 racks, he's pumping vessels, and this is going to be such a scary push, although it will have a few less tanks and vessels than it would have initially.
Kind of small, so it's still a little bit vulnerable to heavy lings, or maybe just an army that is as big as Eon's army. It looks like it might be. Vessels, though, okay. Good control from Eon, though. It turns those Scourge back immediately.
Yeah, and I thought Eon was going to go for the flank, but it actually looks like he's going to hit this army head on.
Here we go. That's a lot of tanks, though, to run in, and there's not that many. Oh, wow, but so many Marines die right away. That's a huge loss. He tried to get back against the cliffs out of range, but he wasn't able to do it, and Eon's going to smash this army.
He is? What? How does this... Eon is so capable of making 2 + 2 = 5. He just comes out with a little bit more than you would expect, and everything just gets obliterated.
Yeah, he picked a great spot. He picked a great spot, too. He slammed Dandy against the wall, and Dandy moved everything back, but it just wasn't far enough.
Yeah, no, he plastered him right up against the wall there, and I mean, man, it is so rare that I see a Zerg at this position be able to confront a Terran army head on.
Oh no! Oh no!
And applying those lurkers directly to Dandy's forehead. He's even like sniping vessels along the way. Swarm, like you said, is out, and that means that the best case scenario for this push is just not a very bright future for Dandy.
He just runs through the storm. He doesn't even care. He's like, I'm gonna cut you off.
Oh my god, cutting him off at the knees, just not leaving a whole lot left here. There's a small bioforce out on the map, but I mean, at this point, eOnzErG doesn't even care. He has so much tech behind this, a huge army of very high-tech units. Yeah, he's just going to go for it.
It looks like losing this push might have been too much for Dandy. If there's one more Defiler, it's absolutely over. Oh, he gets a swarm up. Okay, so he keeps that Defiler alive. Good move there. And I do like that
there's no fire bats in this army
either. Out on the map. It's good that he's trying to prevent that Defiler from getting up.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is here. Obviously, Dark Swarm versus nothing but Marines is, probably not a winning combination here from Dandy. And he's continuing to... Okay, so he is finally starting to add fire bats onto this.
Nice micro.
Okay, I see you. All right.
Micro.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like... Yeah, surprised you saved like 2 Marines. But killing those lurkers is valuable.
A little bit drop. We're going to try to get off the front. And like I said, the biggest thing is that he's prevented a Defiler from getting to the front of his base. He didn't get swarmed into his natural. He's still fighting hard for that map control.
Oh, look at that. And boom goes the dynamite. Okay, well... I think the next... Oh, look at that Dark Swarm.
Oh, no. Okay, now he's swarmed into his natural.
In his face. He did get the Defiler kill, so there's no more Dark Swarms here, but all it's going to take is another Defiler coming across.
Yeah, we'll Dandy's fighting hard. He's fighting hard, but Eon's taking a 4th behind this. And, Dandy is moments away. One mistake, and he's swarmed in his natural, and that's more or less GG. This is so precarious for Dandy right now.
A dropship just flew over the entire army.
Oh, the Scourge will get it down. Oh, no.
Wow. Oh my god. Scourge are the worst unit in the game.
That was perfect from Dandy, though. But Dandy might still be getting swarmed in his natural. Their small drop is down. But what is happening in the natural? Is he going to be okay? Eon might take some damage from this. Drones are running away. But if there's a Defiler about to swarm the natural, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, you can't save buildings with Dark Swarm, so a lot of stuff's going to die. Hydra Den to start. And I don't know if there's anything upgrading from that.
Oh, he's got an Ultra here. Okay, no, it's going to get cleared out. He might not even lose the Hydra Den. One Ultra is going to clear this away. He does lose the
He does.
hydrogen, but here we go. Lurkers with Swarm. There better be some firecraft in those bunkers, or the natural is broken here for Dandy.
I don't know about that one. Look at these lurkers just killing everything. Oh my god. Even with an irradiate on the Defiler, I think we're going to see one more Dark Swarm. Yep, there it is.
Oh,
that natural is in trouble.
Alright, so he's got the Ultra coming over here. He's trying to snipe the Defiler round, and there is a Lurker doing damage, but just one, so that won't insta-kill him. But yeah, that last Marine will die, and that is it. And the natural is swarmed. I think we're seeing eOnzErG march to victory here under Dark Swarm. Everything pinned for Dandy.
GG, Dandy taps out, and eOnzErG takes a 3-1 victory over the Peruvian Terran to advance on to the BSL Season 5 semifinals.
Nice work for the coach, the aggressive Zerg.